within 1 week of my completing that NLP course, I started taking people to the trance. They mentally, inside their mind, they started traveling with me.
Hello and welcome to Rabbi Rashi Foundation, where we delve into the inspiring journeys of remarkable individuals. We are honored to have with us Shipra Uppal, whose achievements and contributions are nothing short of extraordinary. From being crowned Mrs. India Classic in 2019 to her role as the Goodness Ambassador, Heart and Soul 2019. She's also an NLP practitioner, chakra healer, and a voiceover artist. Absolutely wow, isn't it? बहुत बहुत स्वागत है शिप्रा.
Thank you so much, Rashi.
Okay, Shipra, to start with, please tell us about you, the brand Shipra Uppal first. Over to you.
Shipra Uppal, before becoming a brand as Shipra Uppal belongs to a very middle class family, and who has always found, and my parents in grace when they were in pressure. So I too followed the same rule whenever I find myself in pressure. I have always followed a quote. It says, "Be a classy woman with little bit of hood and lot of God in you," because it is only your connection with the divine and your unwavering faith in the spirituality that actually makes you surrender completely without any if but and commas. So I prefer the company of happy people who believe in magic and magical people who believe in being happy. No logic in between, because logic kills the magic. So I would define myself as ambitious. That is my problem. And personable, I'm friendly, and I'm ethical, and a very die-hard spiritual person. Yes, thank you for addressing all the achievements and milestones. And as a National Women's Excellence Awardee by Government of India in 2015, as a corporate woman, as an author, editor, motivational counselor, voiceover artist, soft skill trainer, lecturer, researcher, and now in 2023, with over 24 years of working experience, I am first consider myself to be a wife and a mother of two, and happy mother of two beautiful children. And this is what has been my inspiration, my family, my children, because I always wanted to count my achievement with my children and family, not on their cost. And God has been kind enough for gifting me with wonderful projects and wonderful people like you.
That's being super humble. We usually don't get many good compliments on the show.
No.
But this is absolutely wonderful, Shipra.
Thank you so much.
Shipra. Okay, Shipra. To start with your professional journey, how did you become Mrs. India Classic 2019? This is like exciting to hear this. And then how did it influence your advocacy for goodness, and mental health coach as well?
I was associated with a wonderful organization. It's an event management company, and they honored me with an honorary title of being their chairperson. And then they came up with this event as Mrs. India, Miss and Mrs. India Classic, or Miss and Mrs. India 2019. I went there as a normal person. I was there looking and observing all the arrangements and everything. Suddenly, the beautiful and wonderful jury who was sitting there, they considered and thought that I am a participant. And one of the jury member, who was a face reader too, she somehow convinced me. She asked me and she said that you should participate. And I was really had a lot of aversion to the idea, because my subconscious has conceived this, my father's advice, that no, it is better to pay attention to your family and other things. So I had let go of that idea, and considering myself to be a mother of two children, I thought now I'm a little late for it. But they told me that no, it's not never too late. Mrs. India is made for mothers. So it is. So here, when I talk about pageant, I got convinced with her idea, and then I said yes. And being a researcher, I started digging about the idea of Mrs. India. Beauty pageants always, I always got candid with the idea of pageants. And beauty pageants, they give important focus towards the national pride, towards the regional pride, and above everything, it gives a focus to an individual pride. And as a woman, they promote you towards the age of intellectuality and aesthetically. They promote you intellectually and aesthetically. And beauty pageant, like I always, it was a hidden desire in my heart. I always wanted to be, but I just bow down, and it was a sweet surrender. But it encouraged me towards the brighter side of life. I personally felt inspired, by the idea of looking beautiful, feeling beautiful, and then after being chosen, and especially after clearing the auditions, there were three auditions. After clearing all these three auditions, after I received a mail that you have congratulations, you have been chosen as a finalist, and that was a Yahoo moment for me, because suddenly receiving that mail, reading it, that congratulation, that particular words, from that very moment, I just transformed from being an ordinary housemaker, ordinary woman, to a superwoman in my own eyes. I never had anything to prove to anybody else, but had surrendered to our responsibilities. So this was something, a brighter side of the life. And then I started my journey. It was a 10 months journey, and started reducing weight. I was almost a new mother to my second child, so I was little overweight. And then there was a beautiful shift towards healthy eating plans, exercises, and supplements, daily affirmations, and whatnot. But it has been a beautiful journey. Here, if I talk about this pigeon, it has given me a self acceptance. And self acceptance is not a distinction, it's a constant journey, continuous work in progress. You have to keep on working on your, towards transforming yourself. For example, if you have eaten a breakfast on Monday, you cannot sustain the energy till Saturday. You have to keep on repeating the meals every 4 hours to feel energetic and keep performing. So it is just like that. It's not a distinction, it's not a mark. You have to keep on working towards that. So life surprised me with this beautiful title of Mrs. Most Stylish Mrs. India Classic 2019. It was a gift that came to me from the universe. It was a wonderful, again, a pageantry competition. It was a pageantry, but here the focus was on to giving importance and presenting a platform to the people who actually have talent, but somehow they don't get a right window, or maybe they think themselves कि हमें कौन notice करेगा. So here we had personally requested कि we want to walk the ramp with my makeup designers, with the jewelry designers, with the dress designers who have worked in, so that पता चले कि एक्चुअली जो मॉडल आपको इतनी खूबसूरत दिख रही है, इसके पीछे जो क्राफ्टिंग की है, इसके पीछे जो ये छोटे 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 घड़त की है, वो किसने की है. सो कारीगर कौन है? तो कारीगर जो थे, दोस पीपल, दोस ब्यूटिफुल क्राफ्टमैन, दे वॉक्ड विद मी ऑन द रैम्प, and I loved this idea. And God was again kind enough. I walk away with the title of being the first runner-up for Mrs. India International 2023. That happened in January in Delhi, and 2023, and it was a beautiful experience where my makeup artist, she wanted to give me a look of Rani Padmavati, because the main theme, final theme for this competition was representing the brides from different corners of India. And when she said, ma'am, what should I do with you? I said, I'm seeing myself from your eyes. So you do whatever you want to. This platform is sitting in front of you, decorated as per your whims and fancies, whatever you want to. She said, I want to make you dress up. Aapki personality mujhe Rani Padmavati mein, I want to make you like a Padmavat. I want to give you a Padmavat look. So the dress that was available was her, and the idea that actually was in her mind was of a Mughal bride. But she transformed that Mughal idea into the Padmavat. And she gave me a Padmavat look. There, you will see it in the images. I will share the images with you. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I, even there on, I'm still in touch with them. So they say, ki ma'am, ek aur, like they have started getting a lot of, because even when she walked the ramp with me, and after there was a consequent carried on, followed up press conferences where both of us we were together. So it affects and give them the opportunities, and they get beautiful work. And above all, above work and everything, it is a connection. It is a trust and a connection that goes hand in hand. I also been gifted with many beautiful workshops, and one of the workshop came in my life was NLP, neuro linguistic programming. It was a very in thing that time. It was a very new concept. And I attended. The moment I joined the workshop, I realized that there was nothing new. I related to that concept. I started resonating it to me. I started responding to the principles, to what all the strategies it worked on. And within 1 week of my completing that NLP course, I started taking people to the trance. They mentally, inside their mind, they started traveling with me. And even in that process, God was kind enough that we were even able to crack few of the cases pertaining to past life regression and present life regression. And doing that, it was an icebreaker. And I knew it that we all born for a purpose. Maybe that somewhere my services are due here, because there was an unexplained gratification when people said thank you. We felt the change, thank you. Seeing that smile and satisfaction in their faces filled my heart with gratification. I started dancing on their recovery. I started dancing on their achievements. So this was something in that I couldn't pull myself out of it. I wanted to be completely into it. This was something that actually had given me that मैं क्यों पैदा हुई हूँ? Why am I born? So this was the reason finally, and I was grateful to divine for it.
Okay, Shipra, we read somewhere you're involved with this initiative SARATHI.
Hmm.
Tell us about that and its initiatives. Over to you.
Sarathi, I got associated towards the idea of Bhagavad Gita. The moment I started reading that epic, I realized that NLP, neuro linguistic programming, all these, wonderfully sounding concept had actually originated in our epics. Whether you talk it Bhagavad Gita, or you talk it Quran, or you say Guru Granth Sahib, or you talk about Bible, all these concepts have originated in Bhagavad Gita, in our epics only. They all talk about one thing. So Bhagavad Gita, I'm a follower of, die-hard fan of Bhagavad Gita. So when I started reading it, and I realized the different stages of, the confusion and emotional confusion, in emotional assimilation, and then recovering to the path of emotional intelligence. So it was all a work of conviction. And by default, even today, if you see it in a broader concept, you will find yourself by default in place of Arjuna. Arjuna was in your place only. You at many ages and stages of your life, when you have to decide which road to be chosen, which way to go. You are in a stage of Arjuna only. So time hasn't really changed. Human psychology was the same 5,000 years ago. Human psychology is the same even today. So, and if we talk about Sarathi, Sarathi, that the beautiful word denotes to Lord Krishna. I am too small to be there in front of him, but this has inspired me, and very grateful to one of my close friend who is very close to my heart, and who I even got an opportunity to mentor her, to be there and to help her and give her certain kind of NLP sessions and all. She suggested, by the time I was, hunting out the name for my company, I was officially trying to launch a brand. Then she said, "You don't need a name, Shipra. Go ahead with Sarathi. You are a Sarathi. You have navigated me. You have been navigated." This was a big title. I found myself too small. Even today, I talk and tell to all my trainees and coaches and everyone in a very layman's language कि मेरा तो कोई स्टेचर है ही नहीं. It's I'm on his service. मेरा कोई स्टेचर नहीं है. So I'm nowhere. Don't thank me. I'm just honoring their service. I'm just so Sarathi, voices, visuals, and spirituality. So original name goes Sarathi, Shipra's voices, visuals, and spirituality. So Sarathi, here when I read Bhagavad Gita, and I understood the different kind of a position where Arjuna was there, and I said that by default you will find Arjuna in your position and yourself in Arjuna's confusion. So NLP started there only. NLP, by the idea of answering all the question, Shri Krishna, Lord Krishna, he was a lord, but being a lord, he always kept on convincing Arjuna by answering his question and denoting him like, "Hey Dhanurdhari, hey Veer Purush, hey Konteya." He never ordered him that, "I'm asking you, take your bow and arrow and start fighting." He never ordered him. He always kept on denoting him, lovingly, with respect. Why? Why? Because finally, here lays the karma. Universe, be a god or a universe or anyone, never comes in between your choice. They never come in between your choice. Choice is yours. यही तो कर्मा आता है कि कौन सी choice, which road you have taken, क्या किया. Karma is at your disposal. So karma, I will take a small example if in case time allows you. Uh, we all know the position of Draupadi. Draupadi was not an ordinary woman. She was a daughter of Raja Drupad. वो कोई छोटी मोटी औरत नहीं थी. She was herself a princess. But being married to Arjuna, and then after following the orders of Mother Kunti, you divide it among yourself. So she has actually honored and bowed her head down, and she was so dedicated towards being a wife, being a position of wife, that she spent 1 year with each brother. When she was with one brother, she never used to think of the four brothers. That was her dedication and loyalty towards the time dedicated being a wife of one brother at a time. So when we talk about, Bhagavad Gita and Draupadi, and we talk about surrender, we talk about your responsibilities. So, and we talk about karma. So we all know what happened with Draupadi. It was again a came back of what goes around comes around. So when she was in that stage, when Dusashan was all into, on his brother's orders to pull the sari, when she realized that the things have gone out of her hand, the things are not in her control anymore, she cried and pleaded in front of everyone. And even she said that, "I have 5 husbands, but they are standing and sitting like a eunuchs. So what should I do?" So when she realized my physical karma is over, मेरे हाथ से बात निकल चुकी है, अब मेरे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है, she opened her wrist. She left her sari, she opened her wrist. She raised her hands in the air, she folded them, and then her spiritual karma begins. And she started thinking of Lord Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Nama. And this is where we can connect when Lord Krishna said, when she tied the Rakhi on his hand, Lord Krishna said that, "I will repay each, I owe each and every thread of this Rakhi, and I will repay it back to you when the right time comes. Because he knew it. That is why we call him Sutradhara. And this is the power of surrender. When you know the things are not in your hand, you surrender. God will take care of it. But by the time you have not surrendered, God says that, all right, they still have a, they are still capable of dealing it on their own. Why should I interfere? They are overseeing you, watching you, protecting you, but they will not come in between your free will. So it was her consent through her soul that my physical karma is over, my spiritual karma begins. And then Dushashan kept on doing his karma. But karma anivadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So fal, the fruit is in his hand. What will happen is in his hand, not in your hand. Your work is just to practice, practice, practice. So
I'm getting goosebumps because she's it's the first time on a show that someone is speaking with so much of conviction about karmas and Bhagavad Gita, and this is absolutely wonderful and beautiful. Okay, Shipra, so I believe you're also an NLP practitioner and a
yeah.
chakra healer. So how do these practices intersect, with the roles and so much of diversity in your roles, managing business, home, job, kids, husband, us, so let's hear on this.
Thank you, Rashi. Well, life changed for me. My life changed 360 degrees. Because when this NLP concept was gifted to me, I was already into too much of pressure. It's not easy to, be participate in a pageant. They play with your psychology. You are shedding weight, you are transforming, and it's not easy when you know that you have 10 months time, and from 89 kgs you have to reach the goal of 58 kgs in 10 months. It's not easy. It's not easy. So there are a lot of things. I had let go of all my eating habits. I was gifted with beautiful, coaches, the health coach, the even a dietitian, and the people who kept on following up with me that we hope you're doing this, we hope you're doing that. And I was also being very careful, and my BMR was constantly being monitored, that am I really justifying to the platform where which I'm going to represent. What is NLP? NLP, when I learned the concept, is neuro linguistic programming. Neuro something that relates to your brain. It helped me because even if in case, for example, if you're cooking something new for your family, what will you do? You will first cook and taste it yourself. Is it worth presenting or not? So NLP I adopted and tried and tasted on myself, whether I can present it to somebody else or not, or should I just keep it to myself. So I watched the changes. I observed that how beautifully I had the stress, but I never felt it. I had a fear, but somehow the solution was standing next to it. I was confused, but beautifully, I was my own coach. I never needed a life coach. This was a gift of neuro linguistic programming, NLP, that gave me. So, NLP, neuro linguistic programming, neuro brains, you start understanding what kind of a thinker I am. I always used to say I'm a positive thinker, but actually going down and narrowing down and understanding and the concepts and seeing my responses and reactions towards a situation, what I'm actually being given at home and differently at office. I said, oh my God, is this me? So you start transforming. Linguistic is my language pattern. NLP says 7% of the communication spoken language and 93% of the non spoken language. So it gives you that intellect to understand what is not being said. And programming, what I saw, what I perceived in my mind, and programming is an output. Input, process, output, sequence. Output is an output of maybe in the way of my responses or reactions. And NLP helped me understood reaction is the worst action. We should not do that. Should always respond amicably. So coming to chakra healing, so NLP has given me that power, that control to be my own coach. NLP has really helped me to explore the beauty of finding the resourcefulness in every relation. You have a goal in every relation, like being a wife, being a life partner. When you are married to your husband, you have a goal. What is your goal? To complete the journey of your life, taking care of all the peaks and valleys. You will not, till death takes you apart. You are there कंधे से कंधा मिला के एक दूसरे का साथ करना. Sharing my ideas on spirituality, and I started teaching them chakras. I learned chakras during this pageantry process only, and chakras are nothing but these are the energy centers. Energy centers which denotes different aspect of your life, being the starting from your financial aspect to your relationship aspect, to your self-respect aspect, towards your love aspect, towards your how seriously people take you in the world, that particular your tonality aspect, then your psychic abilities, then your connection with the divine, where you get an umbrella, a wholehearted support, and you don't fear anything, whatever it is. So spiritual, these chakras, they aspect these 7 different concepts which I just mentioned. So chakra is a wheel. पहिया घूमेगा तो गाड़ी आगे बढ़ेगी. So this is a wheel alignment. So jab chakras, if in case they are diffused, dismantled, so that particular aspect is also diffused. People are not able to move forward. क्यों? क्योंकि वो टायर पंक्चर है वहां का. So chakras will help to refurbish that tire, that diffused tire, fill it with energy. एनर्जी से पहिया घूमेगा तो गाड़ी चलेगी. वो गाड़ी चाहे फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट की गाड़ी हो, रिलेशनशिप की हो, पर्सनल सेल्फ ग्रोथ की हो, सेल्फ लव की हो, व्हाटएवर, तो गाड़ी आगे बढ़ेगी. सो दिस इज हाउ आई स्टार्टेड teaching the concept of chakra healing.
Yeah, I think she's absolutely right. सबको पता होता है कि वो कौन है और क्या कर रहे हैं. And little guidance within the God and the God outside, I think, helps you achieve what you're seeking. This is absolutely wonderful, Shipra. Shipra, I want you to give out a very inspiring message to all those individuals who are seeking space into the mental health, advocacy, personal development. Soft skills is drastically missing in today's life, especially with youngsters. So what advice and what guidance would you like to throw to them? Over to you.
Well, there's an old saying. It is being said that nothing happens overnight. So I agree to this concept that you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can certainly change your directions overnight. That can happen, that you can change your directions, ki what path to be taken, where to go. That you can very well do. So here, what I really want to say is that they were since beginning, हम लोगों को जो शुरू से एक concept दिया जाता था ना, that we had always stick to the idea of honesty and hard work, courage, fair play, tolerance, curiosity, loyalty. All these values, they are silent force of progress, that it is there with us, and without them nothing really happens in between, nothing really happens overnight. So though these values, they might be awful tasting medicines, but they are important. When you fall sick, you take a medicine. You don't enjoy taking medicine, but you know that it will heal you, and it will help you to get back to your work, to get back to your life. So these are the medicines, the pill that you have to take. And once you get the crux of the idea that nothing happens overnight, keep on working towards, keep on trying. It's the perseverance of not giving up, not really running away from the failures, facing them, and be ready with your bandwagon to tread next. कोई बात नहीं. You see different examples. We have been hearing stories from our grandmothers. Look at the spider. It will fall down 100 times a night, but in the morning you will see her come up with a beautiful formation of a web. एक भी उसका portion बड़ा या छोटा नहीं होगा. So she never learned it from her mother's womb. She never did that. Over a time, she learned it. So what my message is, get yourself hooked to some inspiration books, keep on working hard, and an epic can really transform your life. It will help you to disconnect and transform you and connect and respond to your confounded situations. It will help you release your past pain. So there's no fun, clapping and congratulating other people on their, you feel happy in their growth, but what about your own growth? So never give up. Always keep on working and keep on taking these pills of honesty, hard work, courage, fair play, tolerance, curiosity, and loyalty. So maintain the work life balance.
Yeah, and I think that's a very, very valid point. Consistency is what she's saying is important. Don't give up and never give up. Okay, Shipra, what has been your success mantra since you are a strong follower of Bhagavad Gita, karma, life, and you know how to make life beautiful for others. So, what is your success mantra? What has been your success mantra? Over to you.
All right. My success mantra is the surrender. First, I surrender to God. I accepted जो भी हो रहा है उसकी मर्जी से हो रहा है. You might have heard about a song. It says, तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा, तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा. So what it has a beautiful lyrics in between. It says, मिट जाते हैं सबके निशान, बस एक वो मिटता नहीं, हाय मान ले जो हर मुश्किल को मर्जी मेरी. तो जो ना हो हम सफर तेरा कोई, तब भी कोई आपको आसपास नहीं मिले, फिर भी आपको मेरे निशान मिलेंगे. आपको हमेशा मेरे दर कदम मेरे निशान मिलेंगे, एंड यू कैन फॉलो माई फुटस्टेप्स. सो दिस, I always used to hear the songs, and my belief in God and my capability to surrender towards His will. It's His will. मेरे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. भगवत गीता लॉर्ड कृष्णा सेज, ना तुम कुछ लेकर आए थे ना तुम कुछ लेकर जाओगे. जो हो रहा है वो मेरी मर्जी से हो रहा है. जो होगा वो मेरी मर्जी से होगा. तुम्हारे साथ क्यों हो रहा है? तुम्हारा प्रारब्ध है. It's a carry forward to what your karma you left behind. You have to complete it, no? So जो प्रारब्ध है उसको प्रसाद समझ के complete करो, and think, complete it with your karma. Rest, leave the things on me and chill. So I was chilling.
Tell us more about Sarathi voiceovers and how soft skills training programs that you're running in it have helped people and your initiatives. Tell us about the different workshops. How many lives you've touched with it?
Well, being a soft skill trainer, it again happened to me when I had not asked about it. It was gifted to me. It was an added gift of being a freelancer, because being a freelancer, it gave me that kind of a flexibility and time to keep on trying my skills and put my hand into different times. So that added flexibility and open-mindedness was there with being a freelancer. Second thing is that for the company that time I was there a visiting lecturer with certain universities, and over there I was being requested to record a video for the small children aging 5 to 6. It was a Panchatantra story, and I told them that I am not a voiceover artist. I can't do that. I'm not professionally trained in it. They helped me. They put me into that professional training. They helped me to learn about the modulations in the voice and giving gaps and how to control the diction and everything. And there I got the taste of, because I was already a mother that time also, so I personally enjoyed recording those Panchatantra stories that were being made and presented by the subject matter expert of different Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, the different schools. So it was presented, and thereon my journey as a voiceover artist began. I started recording. I started by recording the moral-based stories for small children, and thereon I was being given even more videos to start with class 2 to class 12 on all the subjects, including the lab experiments and including the motivational lectures, to pep those children up who were suffering from the performance pressure in 10th and 11th and in 12th. So there I found extreme gratification while talking on all these things, because I was, connecting to them, though I was far away from them. But while talking about it, I was getting into that character. I was feeling that कि कभी मैं अपने खुद के बच्चे को भी ये बात बता रही होंगी. So this is a hidden expectation of many mothers and the children who need this. I loved recording all these ideas, and there on my journey begins. I started, singing jingles, and I also started singing small nursery prayers in Vinci Spider. So it was all fun, recording all these ideas and videos. So I ended up recording around 3,200 videos for students alone as a part of the e-content series. And there on my journey of soft skill trainer, I was a visiting lecturer. There was a delegation who came from northeast part of India. It was a delegation, and it was from Ministry of Donar, Government of India. And there, the children, though they were not the children, but for me they were children. They were of course, they were more than 20 years. They were all graduate, but they were struggling a lot with English communication. They were not really comfortable with the English language. They were not comfortable with the kind of treatment that they receive from the rest of the India. North Indians don't, receive them well. And they have a limitation, they have a language problem. They have only 3, 4 limited choices because they are scared of trying their hands onto it. They know they will not be able to. They are convinced that they will not be able to do. So being a soft skill trainer, I started my journey with, giving them lectures and teaching them into the as an English language, English conversation, and then carrying on into business communication, social equities, personal equities, and then we also covered up various parts of the tourism industry, and then it came in hospitality, or corporate event management was my forte. I taught them in that sector also. So these are the different various skills that had given me a taste of being a soft skill trainer. And I love this concept because even till now, they are there with me on my Facebook. And every year they wish me, Happy Teachers Day, ma'am. They have got married now. Few of them have become the parent also. But I still remember those days when I taught them. And there on my journey as a soft skill trainer began, and I started taking lectures into different areas. And I also got, associated with different foundations. So I'm doing my work, and at present I have just, refurbished. We have to, being a soft skill trainer, every 2 years you have to refurbish your skills with whatever the new modes and concepts that are coming in industry. You have to keep adorn yourself with those skills. So this is how my journey began, and I really like and helped seeing the improvement, whatever little contributions I can make in their lives.
So, Shipra Uppal, inspiring hearts, empowering minds, spreading light and goodness wherever her journey takes her.